That's what she said.
Stop flattering him.
Okay, Opium Western. Go ahead and give us a brief introduction on yourselves, gentlemen.
How you doing? I'm Dane Mulligan. I'm the singer, guitar player, bass player, roadie, MC with the sound guy with Opium Western.
I'm Dan Kitchens. I'm the drummer, or act like I am most of the time anyway.
Now, tell me a little bit about Opium Western. How'd you get this name?
From watching Tombstone too many times.
I thought we were in the Opium Den one night, but we'll take his story.
Huh?
I said I thought we were in the Opium Den one night. But we'll take your story.
It's just a reference to what they used to call spaghetti westerns. The reality was opium westerns. It's just a statement, I guess.
Well, you guys have played Hutch a couple times. Once.
I have once at the Rusty Needle.
Now, it is. I've heard all sorts of amazing things about that show.
Are you really?
Yes.
Like what?
That you guys are just fantastic, and there's nothing like it.
Woohoo!
Really?
I'm good with that.
I owe somebody a check, I think.
So,
I paid them off.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you guys got together.
I'd been hammering away at it for a couple years. It started kind of different with an acoustic guitar for the basis of the sound. And I've been through a couple of drummers, and one night I was playing at Betty's Runway in Wichita. And in comes Mr. Dan with a pretty good buzz on and a bit of an attitude. He says, let me sit behind that kit. Well, a few months later, the drummer I was playing with needed to go. And I actually called Dan to see if he knew anybody, because I knew him mostly as a guitar player and a singer. And he said, well, I'll give it a shot. And I was taken aback. Sure, I didn't know you played drums. And I thought, let's see what this is going to be about. So he came and auditioned and blew me away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we played a couple shows, and then he took a bit of a hiatus, and now he's back, and it's the real deal, so we're real happy.
I think it was all the opium we smoked that day when I auditioned.
That's right.
Because, yeah, he's like, that is great, let's do this. It's like, what has this guy been on today? It's all good.
I'm going to let you do the talking.
So tell me about what some of your crowd reaction is when you guys go out and play some of these gigs.
You know, initially, you can tell they don't really know what to think, because I'm making the bass and the guitar sound from one instrument. And they're looking up here for the bass player, and of course, he's nowhere to be found. And usually after about the second set, we got him. And the great thing about Dan is he's got such a diverse background in his drumming that he really brings the danceable element out of what I'm doing.
That's cool.
Complements it big time. So once, to me, the highest compliment is when we get him out there dancing, because this isn't really conventional rock and roll, or blues for that matter. But if it moves people enough to get out there and jam, then we've done our job.
I've heard all sorts of, because I missed that first experience here in town, and I've heard all sorts of people say that it sounds like there's 10 guys up there when there's only 2 playing.
It does.
Yeah. It's a concept I came up with about 3 years ago, and you know, playing guitar for 30 years, I just wanted to do something different. And this kind of happened to fulfill that, I guess. And so I'm just taking it wherever it's going to go, and poor Dan's along for the ride.
Hey, I like his outtake on that, because I was going to say the crowd's reaction is they either get naked or they leave, but one or the other. But
yeah, there's no middle ground. Either nudity or fuck off, one or the other. So.
Now, tell me a little bit about what it takes to set this whole thing up.
You would ask.
It's basically setting up a 5-piece band with 2 people.
It takes about 5 other guys that aren't here. It's a monster.
Yeah,
it is. Wow. It's a lot for 2 guys, and if we don't have to do the sound, if we're playing a club where the sound is provided, then it's a lot easier. But right now, it's just have gun will travel. You know, we're self-contained. We'll go wherever.
You're self-contained.
We are.
That's
we
awesome.
don't care.
Yeah. But we'll take roadies.
Exactly. Florida, California, we don't care.
Yeah.
You know, you might be able to snag old Burgess Martin.
Hey, I'd love to, but he's a little bit tied down with the daughter thing these days. But yeah, I'd love to snag him up. He'd be a great roadie.
Cool.
Now, have you seen Burgess play his 2 guitar gigs?
Burgess lived with me for quite a while, so yes,
really?
I've seen Burgess play his 2 guitars, and it's awesome. I love how he does all that and is playing all this, and it's still going. Which is kind of when I first met Dane. I had the idea of what he was doing by what Burgess has actually started, but Dane just took it to a whole new level. But,
Yeah. Well, that's
But, yeah.
cool. Now, do you guys have social media or any of that, or website?
Just
or?
Facebook, Opium Western. It's the only one.
Besides the porn sites, that's about it.
Told you not to mention it.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thank you.